Hello everyone, my name is Rosenbruder and welcome to the Old City Leviathan. This is quite an old game. It came out in 2014. It was I got this. I just played Dear Esther, which was an old, sort of big, started up the walking simulator trend, and I played this shortly after. And it really just sort of resonated with me. And I thought it'd been long enough. I can give it kind of a visit back, and I thought I'd kind of record it. Hence why we're here. It is a bit of a longer one, but it is that classic walking simulator thing, which very contentious hot topic. Talk about whether people actually like walking simulator games. I like them personally. They can be rough sometimes. But games like Dear Esther and this, I did quite like it. And this is a bit of a longer one, so I'm not sure how long, but we'll start off. Loading me. If I remember correctly, this one's quite philosophical. You're about to inhabit a broken mind. Not everything you see or hear is trustworthy. I quite enjoy it. And it's basically we're just going to be going around the old city. Sort of just exploring. Just having a look at the cool stuff. While some guy speaks to us. Which is probably us. And what is it? I'm trying to remember. There's a few images that I remember. Here we are, chapter 1, me. I do know that we start in it's like an underground area sewer, and we've meant to be we've been hiding out there. Here we are.
Hello again. I guess it's time for us to chat, as is our routine. Not to imply that this is unwanted. In fact, I think I'm growing rather fond of you. You and I have shared a grand nothingness, and I feel as though your belly is a suitable embassy amidst the unknown above.
Well, this is it. I do remember quite liked how this game looks as well. So we've got 31st of January. Try and read them in order if I can. Probably the January one, just to find out about us. We can very slowly zoom. And this is meant to be a map. So we're either at the top there where it says GUO or the bottom. 31st of January. I often wonder how many times I have woken up to greet you. Hundreds, if not thousands, of days have gone by, surely. I can't believe you had not shown him to me. Solomon, my dear Solomon, yes. I met him near the south side of the facility. We had a wonderful chat, and I don't want you to feel jealous. A friendship between us would never develop to eclipse my friendship with you, as he distanced himself from me after mentioning a woman named Belle. The poor fellow was unable to rid his mind of her. Some long-lost friend from an older time, I think. I'm glad I'll never lose you, Leviathan. Our relationship is a special one. So I'm guessing this is us writing those, and we have met a man named Solomon. We're talking to our other friend, Leviathan. 2nd of February. He said something about moving north towards happiness and contentment. I get the sense that this was simple sarcasm, but that often gives way to actual desire. I do hope he finds what he is looking for. After all, he is making an effort to explore. That's more than I can say for the other minotaurs down here. The one whose residence is near the dumping point for the clean water is bad enough, but the new one, this Moses character, does nothing but whine about his precious dwellers and their unwillingness to move. Where's your movement, Moses? To be fair, he did leave the other day. He said he was meeting with the order camp somewhere north. 5th of February. He's back. Not Solomon, no, the other one, Moses. Just down the way. It's so hard to keep track of all the minotaurs these days. But I'm sure you'll know them all. You are a perceptive one, aren't you? Anyway, he's back and I feel compelled to go and meet him again. I'm quite the social butterfly. I'll have you know. Granted, whenever I attempt dialogue, I usually get the same tired story about how insane I am, or some other nonsense. Moses doesn't like me. He had the nerve to say that you don't exist. He said that I am some idiot bumbling around spewing my mind to you. Well, Moses, I'm no fan of your work either. 7th of February. The fool. He made the switch, at least that's what they say. I made the switch once. My mind has never fully recovered. I embraced void, and I resurfaced quickly enough to survive. Why have you done this, Moses? Why have you dived into uselessness? After I switched to the unclean water, I began to see the world for what it could be, the vast of nothingness. I can only rely on you, to unveil reality again, Leviathan. You must show me what they have done and what this place is, lest I implode in my own abyss. 15th of April. He's gone. No longer will he exist as a parasite in your belly. He has made his escape, his journey to Tarshish, but I cannot help but feel as though he is brave in doing so. On the other hand, here I sit alone with nothing to show for myself. I have become static. I sit here consuming the supplies from the old city, never even considering that the sources might hold. Shall I continue to rot? Perhaps I should drink of the unclean water again. After all, if I am useless, there is no reason not to dissolve. No, I will continue. I will cling to sanity like a man lost in hope. And I will cling to your innards like the parasitic worm I am. 30th of November. Oh, that's quite well. It has been long enough. I have wasted away from being useless for enough time to see that there must be a change. Tomorrow, Leviathan, tomorrow I will make my journey. I will reach the surface and I will find the old city. I will find the sources. Jonah. So I'm guessing we're Jonah. Very odd place. Okay. And we'll move along. So, yeah. So we're a Minotaur. Does that mean I'm in one of these spots? Probably down here, though, really. Right in the bottom corner. Let's go. Let's go. We've got a whole city to explore. Residents. So I think they're called Minotaurs because they're people like living under the city. In these, like maybe they're the guys that are, like maintenance workers pretty much. The sound of something. Watch your step. I might turn the game volume up. Old City Source Overflow Outlet 47A. What's in these? Just eye barrels. Oh no.
Do you want me here? I know the question must seem odd, if not insulting, but I really must ask. You seem distant as of late.
I'm curious who's actually speaking. Is it Jonah or Leviathan? To me. So I guess this is and why we call Jonah as well. We're living in the belly, the city, Leviathan. That's my guess. I turn it up a bit. Just in case, you know. There's enough here to I do remember I used to have the soundtrack on my Spotify. So we're following the water, and that's what the water is. I don't think it really matters about the maze too much. I kind of do want to find all the bits. And I believe, because on the main menu it said Solomon's Notes, so we can find notes from Solomon. Oh, we are dropping down. Main sewer access B. Okay, we're just gonna drop. Yeah, doesn't matter. That's fine.
Admittedly, and please do not take offense, your innards sometimes frighten me. Even in the complete safety of a belly and to myself, there are places like this that I do not want to know.
The eye up. I can go up there. Don't know if I want to just yet. It's one of these ones where I don't know which is the right way, because this looks like the right way, but then is the eye a secret?
I wonder if the dwellers would cluster together like rats if they really understood the true value of isolation. All of their pathetic little wars and ridiculous assumptions of superiority would be washed away if they all had their own private labyrinths to roam around in. Granted, they could never understand the importance of the individual, the megalomania of justice in the guild, order, and, yes, even the unknowing. It's far too strong. There really is no point in even attempting dialogue.
Oh, I thought, oh no, that's clearly like the other way. Exit. But then that's giving me this. This is another 3. Oh. Someone's note unlocked. Oh, I can open up a dev menu there. Oh, note 1. Is this the one I just had? I think so. I think. It's a long one. Gosh. Do I want to read it? Oh. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll scroll down. And you can kind of pause it if you want to. It's just a bit too long, I think, for me to read. It is, yeah, this is way too long for me to read. I think just going like looking up the wiki and then finding them if you want to read them is probably the better bet than this way of me just scrolling through. But I will scroll through and just talk while I do it. And you know, I'll go semi-fast. Because that's like not what the word I wanted. Yeah, it's not really what I needed.
Would you be angry with me if I removed his work? I'm not exactly a fan. Before I assumed this portion of your stomach, he existed as a parasite, eating away at your flesh before making his escape. I'm told that he refused to accept the sustenance you haul in from the outside. Some say he went insane after attempting to live off of the unclean water. Poor fool.
Okay, yeah, so is there? So yeah, it's got to be the city's name is Leviathan, I think. Then, 24, 22. This endeavor is new to me, but I suppose no other of my kind has written a journal of their discoveries. At least none that I have read. Why is that, I wonder? Why do the others, though, spread thin in this hellhole, prefer talking to themselves aimlessly, or without end? They wander in the dark, spewing their minds as if the wolves themselves were engaging them. No matter, the wolves will not hear my thoughts. No, my thoughts are for you, reader, whoever you are. I met with the order camp near the down subway car today. It is always interesting how they and the others down here have taken to living in our collective filth. Though I suppose the grass is always greener, only when you can see the other side. If I can plan some sort of coordinated effort to get to the surface, I think we can travel much faster. What we need is rigid system and cooperation. Jan 26. Back when I was dubbed Minotaur by the Council of Modernity, I assumed the title granted me at least a modicum of authority over logistical affairs. This doesn't appear to be the case with the Order Camp, however, as they've rejected me outright. The title seems to distance me from them. Sometimes I feel as though the Council is no better than the rabble of Premods they combated. The Premods themselves are almost entirely eliminated but our current populace is just as stubborn and unwilling to challenge their current status. This is like pre-mod, like a robot type thing. Maybe not sure. Ah, another boy, another rat. Not fair. Today I decided to use a different tactic than I had used before. Instead of pulling rank, I opted to use reason. As common dwellers, we are all aware of our supply of water and food is largely provided by the old city. It is clear that this entire supply is simply the leftovers of a much larger meal, a hand-me-down from some other entity in a much better financial situation. While this free sustenance is appreciated, wouldn't you rather find the source? Apparently I alone have that sentiment. I will try harder. February 3rd. It has been a week since my last entry. I have tried everything. These people are intolerable. I've tried every measure of reason to no avail. They'd rather drink the old city's charity water than find its fountain. I don't know how much more I can take of this. Every time I give in a reason to escape this underground purgatory, it becomes more evident to myself how badly I personally need to get out. And every time they refuse, it becomes more obvious how hopeless this situation really is. I can... Oh! Yo, guys! So I think I do need to go back. So that was like where Solomon lived. That's our exit. So I will go back. I'll go check out that little path. And I think that's the problem with these little exploration games. I don't want to go off and into a completely wrong place. No, poor rats as well. So, because it said follow the water though. So is that... I'm just going to be running back and forth, I think. I think I just need to find a path and kind of commit to it. Instead of trying to find all of the bits. But there is a Minotaur residence here. Which this one's broken up.
As a child, before the lots were cast, my parents moved around a great deal. State of motion was not constant, of course, but it was frequent. Honestly, I loved the newness of it. I loved feeling like a sculpture, clay added over and over, but with an artist always ready to carve from my form that which I did not require, continually reshaping my psychology. Bags in front of me during the unfortunately early hours before departure. They seemed to decrease in number with each successive voyage.
Okay, so this might be Moses's place. Let's have a little read. Note 784. It's funny, isn't it? Month into travel, and at the end of it, I am left with absolutely nothing. They told me that I should seek out this water treatment facility on this northwestern portion of the island. They told me that if I found it, I would be met with a conglomerate endeavor to reach the inland. I was told that the Order and the other enemies of the Guild would not interfere with our attempts at progress. No one ever told me that the conglomerate endeavor in question was simply a continuation of the same pointless struggle against nothingness. I suppose this is my punishment for assuming movement has any worth. Miles and miles I ventured, all of this time spent, all of this pain endured, and here I sit with nothing to show for it, but a dirty old mattress and a stagnant mind. That's the best part of it all, really. The best part is that I haven't changed. I'm the same idiot stumbling around in a fallen world that I was years past. Luckily now that death is finding me like an old lover. Rejected yet loyal, it doesn't matter that the dwellers don't seem to be concerned with the inland. Then again, why would they be concerned? Why would they want to find meaning that the old city must provide if they already have their own? What need would there be for change? I'm so horribly idiotic, aren't I? I should have it. No matter. It's about to be over, thankfully, and this pathetic waste of life won't be here to trouble anyone anymore. Onward with your endeavours, then, dwellers. I'm sure you'll make headway with your enemy someday. Surely it won't result in the continuation of an infinite conflict that will never be resolved, surely. By the greater I, what a fucking joke it all is. I met a local minotaur named Jonah. He is a friendly reminder of sanity's fragility. Drank from the unclean water, no doubt. In speech he seems normal and to a point, and that point is his dive into the bizarre. I would call it pretentious if it wasn't so obviously born of pure insanity. I guess I can't complain, as it's far better than the nonsense I hear from the guild. At least Jonah doesn't make weightless promises of inland ventures. No, he's firmly planted in this place. As if stuck in a loop, he keeps returning to vague memories of his childhood, as if they can protect him. In the middle of a thought, he'll bring it back from void, just to make everything seem safe. Cool. I mean, this is maze-like, I guess, as well. That's what it's meant to be. But I feel like we're meant to be going up to the surface, so exploring. Back with 3 again. Oh. Hello. Home. My father showed me in the heaven this flies. His wings like clouds, he darkens the skies. Still behemoth is roaming in his desert unknown, the dunes reaching forward where no seed is sown. Under these beasts, neath the depths of abyss, Leviathan's creeping, Sheol's prince of this. Abba guided me onward by the strength of his hand. I let slip between my fingers my grasp of the sand. He wondered curious, do you know where you are? Indeed I did not. All I could see was the blue. I told him plainly it doesn't matter. I'm right here with you. Kinda want to go back and explore, but, you know, I feel like this is the way out the maze. We spent a lot of time there. Just making sure that I am progressing towards
I shouldn't be here.
No, I don't think we should. I can kind of sprint. Nope. No. Okay. So we've had kind of a, you know, it was a bit of a slow start. Hello, friend. Oh, there's one at the ascend as well. Just going through the that maze, reading lots of notes. But of course, there's more. It's not what I liked about the game. It's this very weird. Has a lot of weirdness. Happy and content. It's kind of creepy. The woman. Am I meant to go back? Or maybe, oh. E? No. That might be it. We'll go back and see if anything's changed. But like I said, it's been... I think I last played
Please.
this...
I cannot swim this deep. Let me out. Please.
I'm back in the room. Oh. Oh. The certitude of the ancients comes with a new coat. Annihilatius those annihilate those deemed anachronistic. Indeed, Dover runs red. I am glad I went this way then, because I had literally no memory of that. I have very little memory of most of the game, but there's a few like key scenes I remember. Was that this setting? Okay, cool. We're back in. But that's a little bit of a little taste of the weirdness. There's some weird stuff coming. This is a game that I do regularly come back to every now and then. Pigs waste what is not swill. Okay. Yeah. And because I think our character is meant to be insane, drinking the unclean water, and it is semi-post-apocalyptic, but also like fantastical in a way. And maybe some sci-fi stuff. I'm thinking like steampunk if there's pre-mods, but I can't remember. So this is the way. This is the way we got to go. But I'm glad I went down that way. So I think that's got to be. It even says follow the water. We've still got this. I think we found all the notes from the three guys that we had. Jonah, Solomon, and Moses, I think, are going to be the three main characters. This is the way, yeah. As this water source. So there's value in going down the no smoking. Past left travel. Yeah, it's like such a weird, like I said, like anachronistic time. I press one.
Shall I ascend to your lungs and feel your breath? I think that would be lovely.
Yep, I didn't get a click on one, but I think that's the going into the next chapter. Loading. Chapter 2, them. So I think there's must be one Solomon thing in each, which I will go for. I guess we're at number 5. No, my boys!
Simple little animals, aren't they? Filthy, no doubt, but can you really blame them? I suppose that if I were to hate them for their nature, I would be just as filthy. It's an odd position. To hate a rat for being a rat is to make oneself a rat all the same.
We love rats. Rats are our special little guys. So we are above ground now, but we're still inside. Watch as me, I watch it. Me, I watch him return. There's nothing up there. Peeing is believing. It is. Oh, Solomon was here. Oh, you missed the toilet. I have a little playlist I write to, or write stories to. I listen to while I write stories. And this is one of the playlists that. One of the songs I had in the playlist. This and Dear Esther soundtrack. A lot like Walking Sim games have this beautiful soundtrack. It's really calm, and I just love it. Really good, really well done. Oh, I did see that crowbar. Wonder if that's a Half-Life reference. Bullet casings. And a door with bullet holes. Environmental storytelling. That's what we love. So what's this space? What is this space? Storage exit. Okay. Oh, I think I was just hitting the bin. I was like, oh, did the game freeze? Right, so that's blocked off. So I want to explore back first. But I feel like that is our way forward, because I just saw this. I want to hit as much of this as I can. We got a gun. Someone else's little house. I mean, someone lit these candles. Oh, this just keeps going. Oh, this is a whole thing. Oh, there's a Solomon's note. Yeah, I think I won't go through them all. They are quite long.
I don't think I'm a particularly condescending person. I'm just frustrated. I don't understand why we have to keep doing this. This conflict. Unfortunately, telling a group of people what they're doing incorrectly communicates that you yourself are doing that thing correctly. If only that were true. If only I was above this, rather than beneath everything.
Talents received notice of capture prisoner named Bell. Execute on suspicion of espionage. Locate conspiring operative Solomon, likely to be in your ranks. Use extreme caution. Send an investigator. Objective: push north towards subway access, and aid will come from the sea. Intelligence notice of execution received. Notice of investigator arrival received. Objectives: leave water treatment facility. Secure subway access. Tunnel blocked via explosives. Bypass. Secure Jerusalem and push east. Yes, this is weird, like anachronistic time period as well with a lot of this. That's where we came from. I didn't recognize the fairy lights. I'm going to assume that the up was a path there that we were meant to take. Hopefully. The axe. This one's blocked as well.
What is this?
In the same sort of weird. Oh.
What are you protecting me from? I must see it. I must see what they've done. I must see the extent of Nineveh's fruits, and I must see what they've done to you. Tarshish is nothing but a distant glimmer on the banks of void. There is nowhere now but you, and you must let me explore your guts like the parasitic worm I am. Let me see the decay. Let me see the stagnation. Leviathan! Open these doors! Open them now! What have they done?
I wasn't expecting this. Okay. Actual... Is that... Bell, maybe? The execution order? That she got? But then who's everyone else?
I've had enough. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is another... Yeah, okay, so it's like these side areas that you can find.
You were right. I'm not ready. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it's like...
It's a horrible cycle, this existence. I reach out to connect with them. Again and again I try, only to discover that nothing has changed. So I return home. Progression is lost, and I restart the cycle. I just want to sail.
Oh, I was expecting the same place. Contentment is a dream that they will never realize. Neither will you. So that, yeah, there's these things that, like, Leviathan doesn't want me to see. No, it's still the same. Oh, there's a boy. Oh, yeah, we're fading out. Okay. So it's definitely, yeah, okay. And we're back. We're back here. So yeah, that is all sealed up. Because, yeah, so it's... That's kind of all down there, right? At least that's like... Don't need much more to see. So it's vaguely like ritualistic in the killing. Or was it just an execution? We shouldn't really see anyone, I think. East access. Oh, that's where we were, so it was boarded up. Because we came back up again. That's cool, so you like look for the way around. Exit's probably the way out. Stuck at that bin again. Ooh. Big book. I thought that was testicles. Is it testicles? No, it's not. It's a heart. On the question of tactics, I should note that truth is best presented through the use of a vessel. That is to say, a passive tactic that is not a tactic at all. We must be active. We must present correct ideology through any means necessary, because this world is a harsh and terrible place that deserves only an equally harsh and terrible vigilance. It is for this reason that our militant efforts are justified. Indeed, it is unfortunate that the order stands in the way of what is right, yet truth must be compatible with itself. The greater eye watches as we fight for a revealed light. Our activism may manifest itself in the destruction of those unwilling to see, but that manifestation is only a sin to those addled by contemporary perspective. Future generations will look upon our conquest and see the fruits of those willing to stand up for a good idea, a correct idea. They will see our certainty and they will thank us for bringing a new world of perfection into existence. Evil is a cancer whose only cure is something that they now mistakenly see as mutilation. They may accuse us of villainy, the simple minotaurs and unallied dwellers alike, but that is apathy working against them. They prefer to dream of perfect worlds rather than to create them in reality. We at the Guild are not so idealistic. Realism, my brothers and sisters. Realism and activism are the keys to a brighter eschaton. Thus we will continue to make raids against the Order camps that have infested the northern portion of the island. If the unknown refuse to acknowledge their problematic ideas, they will also burn. Having stormed the northeastern sewer outlet and this facility, we will continue to haul the carcasses of the dead to East Access. The others may see it as butchering, and if the dead are but chum, but the ever-increasing supply of bodies makes their dismemberment a necessity, if only for the sake of transportation. Take charge of those ideas that you hold true, brothers and sisters. Take charge of them and fight for them. Ideas do not fight for themselves. We must make incremental steps as individuals, small leaps of faith that will produce sweeping changes for mankind. Our leap is but a small step when the destination is already something we hold true. It is the rest of humanity that must evolve. Humble servant of the greater I. Okay. So yeah, post-apocalypse going around this old city, and we've got two factions, Guild and the Order, and then we're underlined, and the Dwellers are just kind of in the middle. Yeah, okay, let's move along. So they're moving up.
It's funny how they all hoard the same supplies. All of it from the old city, and all of it wasted.
I'm guessing Jonah is going to be like the last survivor or something. Oh. Eyes. More of them. Oh.
Would you grant me another ascent? I've explored your innards. Let me scale your back.
Okay, on to the next one. So he is definitely seeing like the city as Leviathan. I like that we're crazy. It's good. Number 3, us. So me is like...
It's always struck me as odd that evil is never self-aware. I mean, the most horrendous actions, these conglomerate endeavors of warring cabals, are caused by the best intentions. So all that's left is this grand suspicion of idiocy. Good intentions are moot under the control of a ludicrously stupid idea. But my contribution is hardly an appropriate contrast. I would like to argue that my contribution is non-existent, and thus superior to their negative impact. But the truth is, we're all infinitely terrible for not contributing at all, be it through neutrality or detriment.
So I just suddenly just really remembered this room specifically. So the first chapter was me, so that was about me, obviously. Me, Jonah. Kind of a little thing about... Oh, we're outside. Yeah. Yeah. I like this. I just like how it looks. I think very good, very stylistic, and the music comes in. Second chapter is the Guild, I think. That was them. I think they're the bad guys. After what we've seen. And the Order... We'll find out about them. Oh. Cutscene. No, cutscene, I mean loading screen. Wasn't expecting that. Heathen. It's just gonna be... Intelligence. Investigator missing Order operative Solomon, possibly within ranks. Proceed to Northeast Docks after securing... Investigate ranks. Possible assassination attempt. Proceed with extreme caution. Greater Eye is watching. So Solomon's possibly from the Order. And I think they've caught Bell. And that was who was strung up. It's like an astrological chart. We can keep going down. Watch your step. Yes, I will. I'm gonna just kind of explore kind of everything I see, because hopefully, yeah, there's that humming. As if we're going somewhere the Leviathan doesn't want us to see. There's that. There's the next box. We've got so Bell, Uncertain Voyage. So there's going to be 7 areas, I guess, with these in. Uh, and just for time's sake, I won't go through them all. But I will actually be myself will be going on the wiki and reading them up. This looks like we're going down. There's a way up there. But I wonder.
Perhaps I should kill myself. It's a rather funny thought, actually. The standard reason for suicide entails depression. A sad portrait of a weak mind. But my desire for death is far more utilitarian. I feel as though I am useless. And I gather that this feeling is similar to what the others have felt. I do not suppose that any of them felt any particular brand of gloom before the end. Just a single shade of grey. At any rate, I prefer this situation to its emotional alternative. We Minotaurs are only different in that we're honest. We see what our species has become. We see the disease, and we see that there's no cure. What then, Should I linger until I grow old and die, affecting nothing and assuming the role of sewage? No. I'm beginning to feel as though the only honorable route is a swift end. Time has changed from an agent of death to an agent of cleanliness, wiping away existence like some sort of cosmic and crematory disposal. And I best incinerate myself before the universe is forced to deal with me through age.
Maybe the me was about the Minotaurs, kind of just giving you an idea of them, that them would be, so us would just be everyone. So as we kind of get our first look at the city, so who's this place then? I think I am about done with it. I don't know how long I can continue searching for Jerusalem, and why the hell did they call it that anyway? I suppose that when the narrative of the old city fails you, the only thing left is to generate your own. That's precisely what they did, isn't it? Why find the source of the water when you have the destination, yes? Pathetic. Just think of what could be in there, beyond the walls, beyond the conflict and beyond the leap. What enlightenment awaits us inside? Do you not want to see it? Is our status as unknown something I should feel proud of? Why can we not progress? I am sick of living off of charity water. If the water from the inland really is the only viable option for sustenance, I would rather die than continue to exist with the same unchanging fruits of an undiscovered tree. Shall I brave the unclean waters? Let us see how impure the swill really is. It has now been 5 days since I made my switch to the unclean water, and I must say I am feeling very little indifference. If anything, I am slightly disappointed. I was expecting some massive psychological change, some shift from my original consciousness. I now feel almost no allegiance to the unknowing or their ideas, but that could simply be because of my recent frustrations with them rather than the clean water being in some way the source. Is this it then? Okay, so everyone's kind of just living on the outside of the city, I think. And there's just no way in. This is massive. This is a massive area. I don't remember this at all. I remember going like up around on the surface a lot more there. Maybe we'll just find another way. Abyss. But I want to find the deep. It does change. It does change. Okay, because I saw it earlier in the another tunnel. I was this far away, and it said add something, and I was like, oh, Roman, I don't know that. I didn't mention it at the time. And then when I got closer, it was like, oh, came up with something else. Like just something basic. 15 days in and still no effect. A sham then, yes. The waters from the inland are no different than the waters of Sheol. Incredible, truly incredible. Here I sat, wasting away, thinking that the inland could provide us with some new perspective, some enlightenment, some answers. But no, the inland is just as pointless as the rest of it. The world has truly fallen, hasn't it? Definitely coming into something a bit spookier. Down, down into negativity. It has now been 3 days and 3 nights since I started drinking from Sheol, and I must say, I feel fantastic. I feel like a new man, a changed man, a man with no purpose, a man on the edge of suicide. Is it not wonderful? Ah, look around you, the lack of all things, meaning, reason, all gone. Isn't it truly amazing? I have never been happier, you know. If only the others knew how pointless the inland waters were. If only they could hear the beauty of nothingness calling us from distant shores. So that was like the void. That they kind of like you drink the water, the unclean water, and you go into the void for a bit. So that's what our guy was unveil void, because Jonah was saying about they were saying about Jonah being like tapping into the void and coming back from it. There's a thing. That's a big number. The end of it, yes. Can you hear it too? I remember when I could only hear it. Now I can see it as well, and the sight is grand. Don't worry, my dear reader. One day you'll see it as well, and you too will answer the call of void. My dear reader is something that Solomon did. I noticed that come up a couple of times when I was flicking through that. One day you'll see the vast of nothingness. You will see the shores of our homeland disintegrate, and you will see the reality of instability, the deconstruction of everything, revealed in all of its glory. Prepare yourself. Your time will come, and in that moment I hope you will have the courage to remove the consciousness from this shared abyss. Join me in void, Jonah. Viewed. Whatever I said. I don't think I did this. I don't think I did this stuff. I don't remember this. All these the bodies and the. I don't remember the scene in the dining hall. I don't think I'm moving. But it's just very bright. Ah. Ah. So you kind of go through those to kind of like see truth in that in the world. Jonah's purposely not seeing it, and now that's bricked up. So that was the guy who was writing those, that Minotaur, and he knew I was coming. Ah, that's very interesting. Very interesting. I do like that. Of love, super weird stuff. And there was the. This is why I need a loading screen, because it is a big area, and that. Ah. Yeah, so this is where we came out. And there's bodies. Now that I've gone through that, I can see all the bodies, because I can see, like, truth of the world. There's all these bullet casings and that. Bullet holes. That's very... Okay. I do like that. Just how strange it is. And yeah, it's just like... Well, this World War II? It's kind of like what it all reminds me of. That's very cool. Very cool. Very cool. I like it. I'm a fan. 4. Ziz. Ziz was the fly, and I think each of them was, because it was like mentioned Behemoth and Leviathan. So I think each of them is not a demon.
I don't know why we exist in self-destroying structure. We all share a fondness for that which is correct, and we're all certain that we have it. But there must be a way for that loyalty to flourish without burning the last shreds of coexistence between our species. That is, a species that is primarily defined by its diversity. I don't know if I'm arrogant for assuming that my desire for progress is any indication of my task as a catalyst, but I tried to find Tarshish already. Only in my attempted escape did you find me, and I do not believe that you found me without reason.
This is a change. Quite the change. Leg? Yeah, so we're definitely like... definitely gone very weird. This is Ziz, and Ziz is like flying on... it's a Minotaur. Falling. So this is it's like, yeah, Behemoth, Leviathan. They're not demons, but they are mentioned in the Bible, right? Don't remember Ziz, but okay. So maybe each of these next chapters kind of go along with that. Go in here. Oh. This is a bit I remember. I think this is meant to be Ziz. We're going by what the chapter is called. And I think what all the bodies in the last bit meant was that just everyone's like killed themselves up about the guild and the order, and we're just like the last guy left. Hello. Can I just jump off? I can. I remember the big bird guy. 5, my dream. No, wait, did I... did I skip ahead too much? I didn't explore.
I actually knew the man who lived here. I believe his name was Solomon, though he insisted that the matter was irrelevant. During the few times we spoke, he seemed ungrateful to the point of mental masochism. He would consistently act as though you have somehow maliciously trapped him within your confines, to limit what can be done with the outside. I, of course, know you better. You and I have a special relationship.
Dear Solomon, I'm not sure if you're going to receive this, but I hope it gets to you somehow. I miss you. Why did you leave? I don't understand. I know you went north, but I wish you would have told me why. It was never Abraham. I never loved him. I love you, Solomon. I don't know if it's my fault or yours that we were never together. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes. I should have told you how I felt, but it's just so hard to know sometimes. I didn't know if any of it was real, you know. Maybe us being together was just a dream. Anyway, Abraham is gone now, and I'm coming to find you. I'm just near the water treatment facility, and I know the sorts of places you love to make your home. Look for me in the area. I want to see you again. With love, Belle. I hope I didn't miss out on that area. But I don't think we're going back. I feel like this is going down below. I thought I'd just die. And it'll like push me back somewhere like it had kind of done before. That's okay. We got to see the big bird. Oh yeah, okay, so we didn't go...
Before the fall, I had access to a monolithic complex of voices. My parents would simply drop me off with the instruction to learn. Vague, certainly, but the uncharted nature of the command provided me the freedom to let my interest plot the course. My travels picked up in speed as the voices became stronger, pulling me ashore to distant lands where discovery welcomed me with open arms.
Council of Modernity. After the global incident in, survivors divided themselves into three distinct groups based on belief structures. Post-fall, the ideological concerns of people still remained while structures failed to support the conflict. So what was a debate gave way to violence. The Council's primary role is to organize people into categories, thus allowing discussion between the larger parties to take place in a non-violent manner. Members of these categories are labelled dwellers. Anyone underlined with the available overarching ideologies is actively called to adopt the title of Minotaur. See Minotaur. The council was officially formed in, and up to the writing of this encyclopedia to preserve voices on request of the council, there have been only 3 ideological groups. So Minotaur were just underlined. Okay. Writing down. Guild of the Greater Eye. The Guild is one of 3 ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council. Their ideology consists of a basic theism. Post-fall, prior religions lost their structure, so a sort of individualism took place. This effectively shattered any theological differences. This faction agreed to unite under the assumption that a deity does exist, even if that deity's exact definition is various among the members. The one understanding that the members all share this ideological group's major goal is to rebuild a society that allows for freedom of religious expression. The primary method of achieving this is at the present is through education. Under the regulations agreed upon by the council at large, the guild's methodology consists of presenting the possibility of a life outside the physical and an entity not bound by physical laws. Okay. So you have to call yourself a Minotaur if you want to be underlined, otherwise you're just guild or order. There's a red door. Just very briefly decided I want the game to be a bit more linear. But it's fine, just finding stuff like this. Unknowing. The Unknowing are one of the 3 ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council. Their ideology consists of a loose form of agnosticism. Finding a general consensus amid this group has presented several structural problems, and their refusal to adopt any leader has resulted in an almost anarchic outlook. However, their methodology has almost no variation. The Unknown seek to rid any potential new society of the concept of objective truth, and in doing so they aim to eliminate oppression entirely, leaving truth to individuals. Their goal is to create a society that adopts subjective truth. Weird. Okay, so the Unknown... Who's the Order then? Okay, we'll go down to the red door. Just trying to piece things together. So... No, don't take me away from the crab. No. Bring him back. One giant leap for a man, one small step for mankind. Right down, up. Okay. What are you thinking on that one? Because I'm at a loss. I'm back at the start. I'll go this way because there's that door I didn't go through.
But if he could only have seen your qualities, your utilitarian and defensive necessity.
If only. Yeah, so seeing these like writing down pictures a lot.
Naturally, I have my moments where I wish I could sail, but these are nothing but unchecked emotional discharges amidst an otherwise passably clear and somewhat intact realism. Solomon never could stop the dreaming. His unrestrained imagination grew until the contrast was too much, and he was forced to take the honorable route, like so many of the others who litter the walls of your interior.
So I guess that was Solomon up there. It might have been Moses in the matches on the other one. Order of the Cosmos. Oh, wait. 3 ideological groups. Oh, 3 groups, but if you're unaligned, you're a Minotaur. Okay. The Order is one of 3 ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council. Their ideology consists of a staunch atheism. Members were initially concerned that survivors would rebuild a society with what they called the mistakes of the past. With the structures gone post-fall, they saw a danger of regressing to a barbaric religious state, where society suppresses unbelievers. However, as of writing this encyclopedia, the Order has become more generally concerned with presenting atheism as the only sensible possibility. Their methodology for achieving this goal is based primarily on discussion. Their belief is that progress can only be made through discussion, and that fact will win out over falsehood given the honest dialectic approach. So yeah, okay. So you got 3 groups based on religion stands. What am I trying to say? They're standing on religions. How they feel about that. There's the exit. Okay. Because there was still more to explore down, I think, but...
The dreams he created were his escape. I often feel as though they can only function as such. They have a marginal effect, yes, but the required time for any real impact is far too great. Dreams that contribute are a grain of sand on a shoreline far away from here, and Tarshish feels much closer.
This is why I remember the room, because it comes up, I think, a couple of times. Green pipes. Installed in, they provide clean water to the exterior of the old city. Natural water in and around Island historically had problems with deposits of, making it extremely dangerous to consume, see unclean water or void. Notable documented effects of the unclean water include hallucination, severe migraines and thoughts of suicide. The extreme mental effects of the unclean water makes filtration and treatment a necessity. While numerous treatment facilities exist around the outer ring of the island, all filtered water feeds back into the inland before being filtered out again and fed to the exterior, effectively making the old city the source of the clean water. The entire process is automated with an estimated lifespan of around years. After the global incident the Council split the flow from the interior into 3 groups. The first group serves the Guild, the second serves the Unknowing, and the third serves the Order. Order of the Cosmos is the 8th. Okay, fancy names. There's toilet! Another maze. Butterfly. Who was a big crab then? Who's a big crab? And Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. Okay. So, we had the exit. That's good. So I guess then we could have explored the Ziz area and found. I didn't find the Solomon thing. I found the exit. Didn't say exit, you know. Oh, this is okay. So this is the way that I was like thinking. Oh, I gotta go this way. So it all does loop around. That's good. It didn't say exit, you know. Nothing about big Birdman does...
Perhaps his dreams were a ladder leading to uselessness. Perhaps my dreams are the same.
Big Bird doesn't mean exit to me. The Minotaurs were elected as moderators in the discussions between the three ideological groups of the council. Their usefulness is directly related to their ability to maintain fairness, instrumental in preventing violent outbreaks and infighting. The Minotaurs do not align with any particular ideology. They act as free agents in the discussion between three established factions. A major source of support for the Minotaurs is another party named Leviathan in the Old City, which is now quarantined because of... Okay, cool. I'm guessing we're done here? Yeah. Six. Their dream.
How much do you know of the old world? Did you even exist? Were you thrown overboard when your fall occurred, floundering in a new and terrifying negativity? My transition was not a comfortable one, so in this we can feel a measure of companionship.
Sheol. Just entering the water. Trains. Like trains. This is like, that first time we were outside. And... neat. Which makes this chapter just all the more strange. Oh. Just a little invisible barrier there.
Do you still believe in a world out there in the blue?
I don't know. Do you? So don't swim. It's corrupted water. It'll make your brain go crazy. Oh! Hello. Okay. There's a big boy out there. That's quite odd. It reminds me of that, there's a Lovecraftian game I played.
Books on top of books on top of books. Voices creeping in from the vasts of a larger and more ancient world, now trapped in the claustrophobia of narrow minds and cold halls.
And just had like... yeah, here's that room again. Just had like Cthulhu walking off in the sea or something like that. Because there's the room where the like the Grand Hall as well.
The old world was worthy of the waters that still flow from the inland. These green pipes that provide us with the basic sustenance we need for a pointless existence are nothing but charitable structures for an already stagnant populace. In this sense, our ideas never change because we rejected the source for its fruits.
When we discovered this cache of voices, the larger goal was already clear. We aimed to unveil truth in all its objective and simple nature. Voices are nothing but relics of ancient discovery, and as obsolete as the old findings are, they may still act as ladders to a more complete picture of understanding. Fact, you see, fact is unchanging and ultimately understandable. It is only in fact that our allegiance should reside. I hope you would permit me to say, my dear fellows, that fact does not respect our personal bonds, so even in community we should exhibit no final loyalty. What is more, any respect for those who choose to ignore fact is indefensible. Namely, the guild and their rather simple band of acolytes, shall we say, are not to be tolerated. Yes, the unknowing are also similarly detestable. While the guild distorts truth, the unknowing rejected it outright. and abstruse concepts, surely. After all, are we to consider their position untrue by nature of their claim? No truth is a simple thing, beautiful in all its grandeur and connected to nature. The whole of the thing, the object, is singular. It is only under the lens of truth that becomes more complex. These simpletons would have you reject the connections of our findings. They would have you ignore the simple and singular nature of a grander cosmos in favour of some other singular fantasy, as if fact is a slave to some other imaginary and entirely unfounded voice. Moreover, it should be noted that tradition in respect to voices functions to obscure fact itself. Like a great cloud, a blight tradition draws lesser minds away from fact towards ignorance. This evil cannot be tolerated, and its followers, guild or unknowing, should be assaulted with every measure of cruelty that they so mindlessly show to us. Do what you must. Defile, burn, torture, and eradicate. Fact must prevail for the good of all. We must annihilate this illusion for the dream. Of the dream. Dreams are for those who cannot understand. Fact, my dear fellows, fact is what will guide us to a brighter tomorrow, a more comfortable future. Listen to the voices for the distant impressions that fact has left on times long past. Beyond this, they are worthless. Beyond their minimal connection to the larger singular cosmos, they are chaff. Tradition is nothing but the inhibition of revelation, the blocking force between us and understanding. The source should be worthless beyond what it has already provided. To regress to this source would be devolution. Order, overseer, and principle. Bullet holes. That's a very winded one. Overseer principle. If you see a dweller named Bell, restrain her immediately. We are certain that she has defected to the guild cause, and she should not be allowed to harm your garrison with any form of espionage. Intelligence has confirmed that her defection is indeed a fact. She may try to persuade you that she is simply escaping guild activity, but this is not the case. Use whatever means necessary to extract guild information from her. Principle of the Northwestern Quad. Notice has been received that Bell is being protected by the guild. The information she has about our encampments may compromise the area. As a precaution, send units 8, 4, 7, and 15 down the tunnels to the docks. We'll be sending explosives to block off your subway access point. This will leave you and your family alone with a single unit of infantry. It is imperative that you stay and maintain this area. Even in personal bonds, we must exhibit no final loyalty. Of course, while I'm sure this precautionary measure will prove ultimately unnecessary, we will have to block our communications for several months. If anything does happen, it was a pleasure serving with you. One day our certainty will win out over the evil of the guild, and truth will be apparent to all. I thought that might change. After being in there. Yeah, so definitely the Order and the Guild had it out for each other. Does seem like the understanding probably caught in the crosshairs a bit between the two. So I think, yeah, this game is definitely about just the dialogue between theisms. Watch your step, going down again. And yeah, it's a lot of but our character doesn't really. Well, we're a Minotaur, so we're separate, right? Because he hasn't really mentioned anything about any of these groups. He has mentioned Leviathan a bunch. What's the deal with that big crab? And the big walker thing, like a little flea? Big flea? Cave. And yeah, we keep going into this fantastical area. The bit of a mix of Minotaur Cyclops there.
I have to believe that my dreams have some worth, lest I loose the same anchor into shoal. I have to believe that creation itself can bring life to cyclical demise.
Tarshish is manifesting piece by piece. All you can do now is hope that the Eschaton sees its fruits. So I think Tarshish is this city, with like this city, this dream city. Eschaton? Could that be? Something about seeing its fruits. I think last time it had something to do with its fruits as well. So it might be the tree we keep seeing. Now we have the exit. Yeah, so something about keep going into these areas. You know, there's bodies in there. People are definitely like they've definitely wiped each other out. All the groups, just in their like constant fighting. I think that's what it's trying to say. Like all these theisms, they're like arguing with each other, and she just, hey, they're gonna kill each other. You know, I'm not really one to really talk about it. Trains now leaving the old city. Good luck. Oh, face. Egg face. Is this trail like
Escape can take many forms, I see.
Did this just end there? Oh, no, like if people were like, I want to leave the old city, I'm taking the train off a cliff. Maybe. Oh, I was thinking that said Bell. I was like, oh, this thing.
Oh, they all do the same thing. They all claim a certainty that makes the certainty of others moot. Yes, again and again I know. Truth must be compatible with itself. But is that not illusory? Is truth itself not something that is in essence unattainable? My realism's present, but so are my dreams. And to claim otherwise is a dream all the same. It's as if they have dreamt of a world without dreams. It's as if their world is one in which truth has revealed itself in an anthropomorphic turn, allowing us all to see it clearly and grasp it amidst the darkness. Sad, yes, that we all see a different beacon. Now, all I see is void, and I do not know what's left other than to give up and stagnate in your belly. I may not have their full sense of certainty, but as of now, I cannot present an alternative. Truth must be compatible with itself. But that is irrelevant when truth is outside our reach. Onward with conflict, then, and onward with my labyrinth.
Right, that's what makes us separate from them. They're like, all three of the theisms are like, this is how the world works. And they're so certain in it. And the thing that makes us, the Minotaur, different is that we're like willing to sort of be separate from that and just, you know, dream, be in a fantasy. Yeah, I can vibe with that. Kind of absurdist in a way. Just like, don't like reject all the other, what everyone else says. Just whatever. World's absurd, be absurd. Maybe. Who knows? Seven, our dream.
One of the larger unknowing camps is nearby. Their lack of organization tends to make it difficult for them to avoid the conflicts between the Guild and the Order. Of course, the unknowing themselves make their own little raids. This results in it being difficult to maintain any sense of pity. Regardless, I'm sure the onslaught was horrendous. People never fight harder than when someone else attempts to uproot their anchor, even if that someone only does so by existing.
Okay, so he does, he's finally, like, directly talked about them. Talks about the unknowns. We've seen the Guild. There's the exit. We've seen the Order. Oh my boy. And so this is kind of unknowing are a weird one. They're kind of like in between the two groups. They only want. Oh, there's an exit though. I guess we thought this would be some sort of haven. A light on a hill we thought we could hide away from what the other dwellers were doing to each other. Although we hated them just as much as they hated us. I guess we thought we were simply right, making us exempt from the conflict. It's all backwards, you know. I mean, I get it. The world fell, yes. Everything went to shit. It's just that I think we assumed people would be largely the same after the old world left us. But just listen to me. I sound like a minotaur, speaking in circles about how terrible we all are, with not a friend in the world to comfort me. It's funny how I thought all of them as antisocial, insufferable, and worst of all, arrogant. Now I feel as though I see the point in the isolation. I hate that it has to be this way. So this has exit, so we won't go there. I just saw a little sign. It's one of these things that, like, because they both say exit, and it's always been the exit is the one that leads you out. Now there's two. You never quite know what you're going to do to make something go. See, the double one, this just seems so final, so certain. And I don't want to hit it unless I get the wrong one. So we're going to go this way. And I don't know, maybe I might see if I can go back and play through the areas. Maybe like slice in the footage. This is. Okay, so this is their symbol, just padlocks then. Welcome to Jerusalem. So they were hiding out here.
All of our dreams at their core involve some sort of contentment. This is the one desire we all share, but is it a goal that really should be met? After finding contentment, what then? Where is there left to explore after the last temporary comforts of happiness have been extracted?
I just remembered what's around here and it makes me want to go back the other way, but no, let's just push. I don't want to just keep running back and forth the whole time. Ooh, stuck on that rock. GUO. It's gotta mean something. They've got more like blood stains and stuff. I'm just stuck. So these guys were definitely Leviathan shipping container. These guys were definitely like living in this like kind of shanty town here. 5th of October. Everyone abandoned Jerusalem after we caught word that the guild force was continuing onward past the minor order camp near the subway access point. It's just me now. I have several options in front of me, but only 3 that really matter at the present. Firstly, I could simply rejoin with my old unknowing group that has now left our Jerusalem. This is particularly unwanted because of our recent disagreement. Second, I could wait here and die when the guild inevitably takes the place, but the third option is what intrigues me. What if I went the Minotaur route? It's astonishing to me that I'm even considering it, given their apparent outlook on life. But there's something about the journey itself. There's something about the world, a massive world, that can only really be seen by making one's own world small. From what I can tell you, you essentially have to deconstruct your entire universe in order for the largest macrocosm to take over. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So it's like the Minotaurs, they just shrink down their world. Don't think about the big picture.
Our island is plagued with the fruits of a collective mental landscape that defines us as desperately holding on to something correct. So there is no place to hide, without truly secluding, or perhaps risking, the inland. On some level, I feel as though I cannot blame the dwellers. Their zeal for truth is commendable. They're fighting for something, rather than keeping it to themselves. They're acting instead of hiding. Still, must cruelty be the manifestation of certainty? If only truth did not need to be compatible with itself. If only we didn't need an anchor to be right. If only we could sail instead of collecting dust on the memories of voyages past.
Yeah, okay. So I think this is what the game's trying to say. If you stick to one of these three theisms, you're gonna you're gonna have a bad time. You just gotta cut loose. Ignore it all. Alright, it's time. I've made my decision. The guild will be here in 3 days' time, and my venture in isolation awaits. It's odd that I never required any sort of dubbing. I remember that the old Minotaurs, the ones who still remember the pre-fallen world, acquired the title after breaking from the council. It's all rather stupid. Modernity, they called it themselves. Members of the guild, order, and the unknowing all gathered together to make decisions on who is what before the conflicts even began. All it took was one spark, a single disagreement between people entrenched in their own ideas, to initiate an infinite turmoil. The guild called it heresy, the order called it ignorance, and we unknowing sat around screaming about their need to be educated, so as to stop the oppression. To think the ideas weren't even their own. Their ideas came straight from the old city. Yes, I have seen how this works. These green pipes, these charitable constructions. They are the root of our entrenchment. Well, no longer. I will find the source. So it's like a... Overall, going against trying to push... trying to go against all this... The floodgates. All the green pipes just go out into the water anyway. Trying to go up against the what's it called? The theisms. And say going for them is pointless. Bad? Maybe? No, I do quite like the absurdist argument myself. The deep. Lesser eyes watching, eyes of God upon us, just eyes, no perspective. And yeah, what was I going to say was, because I quite like the absurdist philosophical argument, I might be just projecting my thoughts on this game. What it's trying to say, which is what I kind of like. I kind of like interesting. What I kind of think. But the narrative. If only they could have seen that we all see. Every last one of us, dwellers, minotaurs, pre-mods, all of us. We all see. Every last man, woman, and child on this island can truly see. It is simply that we all see a different narrative, a different truth, oppression of the diversity of voice. Yes. The diversity of truth is what makes truth a nonsensical enterprise, fit only for those who would oppress. The rules are gone, yes, gone, and there is nowhere now to return to but the truth of all truth. These voices of old are yet more narratives for the mixing pot of our time. the great soup of numerosity that is our species. We should welcome them. We should embrace their absolute correctness as a lack of correctness itself. What can be known? Nothing. Nothing. What can be understood? Nothing. Oppression is a monopoly of a narrative where other narratives could lie. You fools. You absolute insane mongrels. I hate you, and your non-competitive narrative. I'm sorry. Do forgive me, please, but only in my love for our collective narrative can I condone the rejection of your entirely problematic oppression. Idiots, 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 yes. Truth must be compatible with itself, you say. No. Truth must be allowed. I reject the singular nature of your universe, and your pretension. I reject the infallible nature of your tradition. Guild, I reject every last one of your preposterous nuisances that would stifle my narrative. My narrative is a dream. Ha! Would you suggest that there is a reality that is not my own, not your own, and not of anyone that has ever fought? You fool, you pretentious, arrogant fool, there are no dreams. There is only a multiplicity of narratives that all show an equally diverse truth that aligns itself with the experience of those who would be willing to live, to imagine. I will kill you, oh, you oppressors. I will not hesitate to cut the heads of every last one of you, stupid buffoons, and drink the blood of your useless corpses. I stand for the right of the people, the right of all people to their own truth. Come forth those who would destroy my narrative, and show your vile and disgusting nature. I am certain that you are wrong, you cretins, and I will not stop until you allow our voices, in all of their diversity, to be heard. The voice of one who is unknowing. That's like their ideology. Just because both the atheism and the theistic ones are like, the world has this singular truth, and their thing is like, no, every person has their own truth. Kind of what it kind of like makes sense why they all split those three ways. Oh, don't give me just a random door, because it means I have to go through it. There's the off and down. Is this the way to you progress then? Should I go back in before exploring? It's too much. It's too much. Too many different ways to go. Like so many paths. I don't always know the way I'm going.
Is this dream truly manifesting? Could the voyage be useful beyond escape?
It is reaching out, kind of like the painting, God and Man, but yeah, the room. When I first saw it, I was like, it really struck me. I was like, I know this. Like, why do I know this? And there's a motif they use a lot. Maybe I'd like to sort of go and review all the rooms. See what each one means. Maybe each one corresponds to how each area, sort of, how each group reflects. That one's very symbolic with the hand reaching out for the... damn, this was the one. We didn't get the behemoth. Didn't get the thing there. And we're here. And we're back in this city. I think this is Tarsis, they're calling it. At night time now. Quite beautiful. Put aside Leviathan. Explore your dreams until the world fades and progress is maintained. So maybe Ziz and...
I remember the exact moment. I remember the slight touch of ocean air passing over my skin as I stared aimlessly into the afternoon sky. It's interesting how, though generally more depressing, I actually preferred a cloudy sky to a clear one. Two vast expanses of blue separated do not have that quality of diversity that a more speckled display boasts. This is not to say that a cloudy sky is wholly unfortunate, because there were moments amidst the grey that I learned to dwell in. I learned to live in the moments where the heavens would tear through the sky as if digging through dirt, creating little bursts of pastel light in the otherwise desaturated gloom. It's as if clouds are nothing but a frame. I wonder if without them, happiness would turn into a flat portrait of stagnation.
Yeah, I think this is almost like Ziz and Behemoth for like these dream cities that exist to kind of like try and pull Jonah away from Leviathan, which is like the real world reality. It's Minotaur again. Oh, that's pretty. Because there's the Minotaur like motif, which is me. I am the Minotaur. So, make the leap. That's what all the arrows are for. It's like jump down. Sometimes you can go up. I do love how this area is Behemoth. That's why they said make the leap, because you're meant to drop down to each of them to wake up. Oh, he's beautiful. But they're like sleeping, keeping like the world a dream. The dream was alive, maybe. That's cool. That's cool. I remembered the bird one, but I forgot about him. The bird is his. Who else did we have? It was just Leviathan, I think. Alright, we're in a subway.
We're almost there, Leviathan. The final step between me and the old city's upon us. I wish I could take you along.
Yeah, okay. I did notice that we did see the other one blown up. So we're trying to get into the city, obviously. The main way would be of the subways in the old world, but they've all been prevented to enter, really. I'll take the stairs, you know. Very cool, very cool. I do really like this. This whole style of game, and this is like sort of like top tier.
Will you remember me? After all, I could never forget you. And how can I even begin to thank you for all that you've done for me? You protected me from a world that I was too weak to bear. But now the distant shores of another reality are calling me home. To something I've never seen before. A dangerous and unpredictable world lies ahead of me. But I'm ready to let loose the sails.
Okay. So there's a Leviathan, a dream city that like we're in. Maybe Moses and Solomon to sail, travel in style. Maybe Moses and Solomon had both like had ties to the other two, maybe. It started when I was a child. I'm sure it started just after I began to ask questions. I asked them over and over until my poor parents were forced to resort to arbitrary certainties. Why? I asked. Why? Over and over I wanted to digress until I hit a point where I said so was the only acceptable answer. It was at that moment, that a small moment of parental authority, that I felt safe. In the most bizarre and unfortunate turn of events, I fell downward into acceptance of an end to regression. But the good was never perfect, was it? All I wanted was the good. I wanted to maintain my happiness, my contentment, even if it was born of a less than ideal perspective. But what is an ideal perspective anyway? What is the perfection that I should have latched onto? That's just the fun of it, isn't it? It isn't real. It's a dream, my dear reader. The ideal was never real, and it was never within my grasp. To even attempt to reach it would have destroyed my happiness. The child in me could not handle this. However, so I rejected the ideal. I wanted to remain safe, yes, and I did so until it happened.
My father once recited a poem to me about an older world. I believe it was called Dover Beach. I can still remember the imagery, just the words that escape me. We stood at the shoreline, waves crashing in, each wave eroding yet another piece of what I once believed. I think my father saw what was happening to me. He saw the dwindling of my dreams, the death of discovery. I could no longer rely on Abba to build my dreams back up. Left with nothing, I convinced myself that there were no dreams.
Yeah, I think Abba was another one. Goodbye, Belle. So Solomon again. Okay. Trying to work out what these are. It's like roots. People are trying to work out into the old city or something. I'm not too sure. It happened. I fell. I began to defend my happiness with arbitrary walls made of certainty and realism. I created rules and structures that only had the effect of caging me in something entirely arbitrary. I did this all for the sake of happiness, yes. As the others began to encroach on my cage, the dwellers with different perspective, I became more vigilant in my defense, until I was villainous. I harmed anyone who dared challenge my sight. Of course I was never a dweller. I never had their communal spirit. Even from the start of the end, I was called a minotaur. That was simply due to my misanthropy, however, and it was hardly anything to do with my desire for the inland. Although it is true that their communal tendencies tend to make it difficult to break out of their cage, but I dare say it isn't impossible. At first I thought the inland was a farce. I had been told by the few other minotaurs that I'd seen that it was some sort of centre of enlightenment amidst our fallen world. The dwellers who had spoken to me on the subject had a far less optimistic understanding. Then again, why would they need enlightenment when certainty already exists? Minotaurs have the advantage of being self-deprecatory. That is to say, when you have no true arrogance manifested in certainty, you'll latch on to any anchor you can find. It was the same for me, it seems, as I have eventually adopted the notion that the inland held the answers. I also began to feel as though I had none. My desperation grew as I lost all sense of truth. I began to feel my sight fading and the thoughts of suicide crept in. I had truly hit the bottom of the broken progression. This was an especially unfortunate place to be in, as it then became impossible to see the upward tangent. The leap becomes obscured by void, and there doesn't appear to be any progression at all. See, okay, so the Minotaurs just reject certainty. Like, they don't know. But the Minotaurs seem to be the one that want to, like, head inland and get into the old city. There's that symbol again. And the chair... But what does it mean? Don't know why. What is it about that motif that I find so interesting? It starts off very just like, you walk in and you're like, oh, okay. You see it again. It's so simple, you can see it over and over again. Exit. Oh, I can't go in there. Everything changed, however, when I learned to use my dreams. I had always dreamed, of course, but the question was that of their usefulness, not their existence. I could not escape them, so the latter point was moot. Dreams have an incredibly powerful hold on one's perspective of reality, even if they have little to do with themselves. After falling, my assumption was that the dreams existed to taunt me. They seemed to only contrast the ideal with the real. That made the real all the more depressing. But I do not believe that this is where the dreams have their use. Dreams act as impossible ideals that should never be fully grasped. Rather, they should serve only as a direction for progression. The dream will never be realized in your lifetime, dear reader, but the real will change marginally. A marginal effect caused by a relatively small part of humanity. Your task is to bring the dream to the real, even if the effect is marginal. One giant leap, reader. Abraham, they call me. At last that is the name I gave to the young dweller. At least that is the name I gave to the young dweller who asked me the other day. What an irrelevant question. My name is as important as my status as an individual. Anyway, I could see the glimmer of pointlessness in his eyes. It is the driving force behind progression. If only he can accept the marginal nature of the process. He must be able to remove his worth as an individual so that he may take his own leap for only a small reward. When meaning is deconstructed, the only driving force of progress is the acceptance of uncertainty, dreams. The old city never offered enlightenment. On the contrary, it offers only further dreaming, and it is now time for me to take my leap. I wish more would come along. Interesting. Okay. Done a lot of reading this time. Back outside. We're out a different way, I think. Yeah, that's why I came through. Came in Sharon Station. So he said his name's Abraham, that guy. So, oh, just saw some graffiti, which implies that Tantus? Bantus? Oh, whale. Arrows. Minotaur, that'll be the guild. Certainty, deduction. The arrows. Ship on the sea. Fantes. The fantasy. That's what it's meant to be, the fantasy?
Here it is. The leap. Goodbye, my old friend.
Watch your step. Okay. Let's go. How are we anywhere? Ten. The new. Okay. I was really wondering if that was the ending for a second there. We do have the...
If this final dream before the new is to be trusted, then all life follows the pattern of broken progression. Some call it redemptive history, still others call it galvanization, yet the trajectory is undoubtedly the same. We exist on a familiar shoreline, with the waters lapping at our feet. We look back and see an explored and thus frozen world. Then, as if subconsciously recognizing the need for change, we dive into a prison of even further inactivity. My prison was my only friend, it seems, but even he saw fit to spit me upon a new shore.
Fish. Oh. It's probably the mannequins that we saw earlier. The statues, I mean.
I won't lie, I do miss Leviathan. It wasn't his fault that I was a parasite. But was he necessary at all? After being cast out, was devolution in his stomach the appropriate next step? Why couldn't I have simply washed ashore to the old city?
So, yeah, I guess this is a Leviathan dream. I'm guessing that's, yeah, that's where we can kind of go up there. I'll poke my head up just to see if he does say anything. I haven't seen any, oh yeah, there was this over here. We haven't seen any of the other, like, areas that we're not meant to go, so I haven't, I think there are some things I've missed. Oh, there's a book here. The one constant between the factions is distrust in this new world, the world of ideas. Then again, this makes sense given that their ideas are not truly their own. What's most interesting to me is that their ideas are based on essentially nothing, which is by no means a bad thing. If only they could recognize it. They have the same core in Abyss, but the deduction it can still function. I understand the need to push their ideas to make them win out in this abstract world that they share with the others, because truth must be compatible with itself. However, once the core is unveiled as void, one cannot be certain that their own ideas are the most fit for survival. Thus the need to do battle with themselves, and by themselves in the world of the mirrors, the dream. If truth must be compatible with itself, making the singular and unchanging, you need only let your ideas, the ones that you hold dear, exist in the same space, the same dream, as the others that you reject. The mind will never be able to see truth in its fullest extent, but this sea of minds we call humanity will uncover it piece by piece if the ideas are left alone to do their work. Not through violence, rules, activism, or education will the ideas evolve. Only through idealism can the ideas be truly changed for good. A marginal effect, yes, but we must make giant leaps as individuals toward the ideal, knowing that it will result in only a small step for mankind, because your experience and your individuality is worth nothing in the light of the greater entirely imaginary eschaton. You cannot expect the others to take this leap with you. Rather, you can only model that leap for future minds. You can only point in the direction of the ideal, rushing towards it with all your might, knowing that you will never reach it in 1,000 ages. You will never see the dream realized. It is this reason that this new world is useful beyond escape. Nineveh needs only the ideas and nothing more. Not destruction, not legal action, not social reform, and not decay. Nineveh only needs the ideas and the ideas alone. You need them as well, and you must resist the urge to sail into oblivion, to Tarshish. Rather, sail into discovery, sail into a world where your ideas die and new ones take the place, so you can bring back your findings to the world, to Nineveh, and enjoy their fruits. Trust stupid ideas to die with stupid people. Jonah. So I wrote that. Me. I did that. No one else. Oh, I didn't see you. Oh, there's a thing. Creepy. Well, yeah, I think there are things I've missed, but that's fine. I do really like this. There is the anxiety of going through to somewhere and thinking like, oh, I missed somewhere. If I don't go down this path, I don't explore every single one. There's a lot of that. But I can't really fault the game for it. Oh, I got stuck there. The whale.
Perhaps Leviathan existed for me to discover him, even if that which I explored was my prison. Perhaps I simply needed to see the stagnation before evolving.
And I do think that Ziz and Behemoth were both tied to the other two Minotaurs we know of, Moses and Solomon.
When I was a child, I was given a rowboat. I wanted to sail, so the universe built me a galleon. How unfortunate that, when I got older, I no longer wished to explore.
Is that simple again? Belief, deduction, but it's gotten rid of they had the Minotaur and the guild before. Yeah, so I don't think it's tied to them. The other two dreams. That was what we were kind of exploring, and everyone's got to kind of dream and take a leap with those dreams. Kind of explore them and not just go, I know how the world works. This is how it works. Screw everyone else. I think that's what's kind of...
I am going to explore again. I'm going to board my vessel and sail into an unknown world to dream all the more. I'll leave this dream behind to feel the sand of other shores in my hand, and let it loose as I travel inward towards newness. First, however, I'll make one last dive into abyss.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is. So it's saying, yeah, like reject all the like the certainty of the theisms. Like they're all like, this is how the world works, and saying like, no, reject those and just keep exploring, trying to work out like your own dreams and that. Here we go. Didn't see a big whale. I'm kind of disappointed with Leviathan, but didn't show up. I want my big fish, okay? I want him. Leviathan. 11. And Solomon's letters up. Oh.
Here lies my captor, the great sleeping fish.
We do get my big fish. This is very cool.
My foundation's been disintegrated. I'm left with nothing but void. However, the baby of belief need not be thrown out with the bathwater of certainty. An assertion from an assumption is still an assertion, making any deduction from that foundation subject to critique. I may not be able to deduce from a place that I know to be true, but that which I deduce from my... Like a child, I regressed with no end. Over and over I asked, why? As each answer demanded further questioning. Eventually, I convinced myself that the regression was nonsensical, by nature of it being childish. But what if that childlike curiosity is the vessel that can bring us to usefulness? What if we put aside the certainty and adopt discovery?
It's kind of my only problem with these games, this kind of game. Like, you trigger the person talking, then you're like, oh, I always like, usually if I wasn't recording, I'd stand there and listen to it, because I know that if I do keep exploring, sometimes the dialogue bit will cut off the previous dialogue bit. Like what just happened then? You kind of miss a little bit as well if you do that.
I think I was wrong. Dover isn't where my dreams died. It's where one dream took over. I dreamt that I had no dreams. I dreamt that Dover smothered my belief with certainty. In truth, a truth that I cannot know, Dover ran red. The dream of realism created a monopoly of comfortable stagnation that held me hostage until I could do nothing but cling to Leviathan's innards for safety. My belief was not truly killed, it was captured. One belief was deemed more true than another, and I convinced myself that I was correct. I convinced myself that I could be correct. What if this dream's monopoly was disintegrated? What if I could explore a multiplicity of dreams, never quite knowing which ones are a reality? Truth must be compatible with itself, but what happens when truth is unattainable?
I kind of want to jump down, but at the same time, I don't, I want to keep moving around. Keep forgetting I can sprint, which I do need. Okay, that goes up.
I would tell myself that the real world has shown itself like a clear blue sky, spotless in its vast and flat nature. I tricked my own mind into believing that belief itself was not present. Now that the illusion has been revealed, I'm left believing that I can't know.
One giant leap for a man, one small step for mankind. I think that's that's like the core message with the whole dream thing they want to do. Like, you've got to do the big stuff yourself, and it won't mean much.
Truth must be compatible with itself based on a starting point I can't prove. I can't assert which dream is not a dream at all because they're all just dreams. Why not discover the dreams I can't control, rather than hiding portions of them away to let what I was certain of flourish?
There he is. Big fish. Hello. Oh, he's gonna wake up. Yummy, yummy. Don't worry. I'm a-coming. Super weird. I love it.
One last look at my cage. One last dive into the abyss of negativity. A terrible world full of terrible people, yes, but that can be changed. Epistemic humility can regress to the deconstruction of stagnation. What I previously thought to be stagnation itself, the lack of any true knowledge, is simply the deconstruction of an anchor, freeing us to traverse the unexplored.
Is that big flea thing again? Oh, there's buildings in here. Pretty sure this is...
I swam the
different.
depths. I confronted the bottom of the redemptive checkmark. I was far more negative than those who still cling to certainty, but that's part of the progression. It's part of the broken progression. In this respect, we cannot improve without first deconstructing. Now, all that's left is to rise to the surface, board my vessel, and set sail for a new and terrifyingly uncertain world. The old city has called, and I wish that more would have the bravery to join me on my journey.
But aside Leviathan, explore your dreams until the world fades and progress is maintained. Does she just manifest in piece by piece? All you can do now is hope that the eschaton sees its fruits. Who was Solomon and what were his dreams? Who was Belle and what were her dreams? Perhaps the dream was never meant to be realized. Who is Abraham and what are his dreams? Perhaps contentment is nothing but stagnation. Contentment is a dream that they will never realize, never will you. Perhaps the dream itself is an agent of progress. Who are you and what are your dreams? Oh. Something to do with kid drawing all three. I thought that the kid was us, maybe? Oh yeah, our dreams growing up. Here we go. I think that might be it. No. Oh. Oh. I thought that was it. What's that say? Old City Retention? 09 to the wall. So we made the leap that we can go into the old city. Oh. With a very different sound. There we are. The old city. It's like we woke up on a beach. Going into the old city. Led to a beach, maybe? Waking up on the shore. Guess like exploring a new world. There we go. So did I get all the notes? No, I missed one in number 6. I don't think they're like really relate to places too much, but chapters we have me, them, us, Ziz, my dream, their dream, our dream. So I missed one in our dream, I think. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not actually going to read them. I'm going to read them, but I'm not going to read them on this one. I think that's like kind of altered too with Solomon, and I think the notes that we were finding everywhere that I was thinking was to do with Abraham, not us, and not Solomon. I mean, Solomon's got his own thing. I'm going to read them. That's a little treat for me, and I do want you to read them as well, but and do that. I do really like that. This is it took me not as long as I thought it was going to be, because before I had 3 hours of playtime in it. Must have taken me a long time to get through. But this is really great. This is a style of game that I really like. It's really special. Like something that I really enjoy. Always resounds with me personally. This and Dear Esther are particular favourites of mine. But there are many others. And it is a style of game I know that not a lot of people have enjoyed. So if you've made it through this whole thing and you're here with me at the end, I really want to thank you for joining me, and I really do hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Very rarely I do this, but if I invite you to write comments down below, if you have any thoughts on the game and the themes it brought up, because I would really like to, something I'd really like to talk about. And this game itself was a very very special one. It's always one that I've come back to a lot. I want to know what this means. This what's with the why the table and chairs? Why is that a motif that keeps coming up? That's one thing I can't really work out. If anyone knows, please tell me. This has been the Old City Leviathan. I have been Rosenbruder. Thank you very much for watching. Really, sincerely, I mean that, and I hope you have a wonderful night.